Hey, what up guys? So we're back with another Star Wars Republic History reaction video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. So in the last episode, we talked about Darth Revan, Darth Malak, and the Mandalorian Wars and all that, and how Revan and Malak fell to the dark side and Revan's redemption. Basically, they went over the old game, Knights of the Old Republic. And I heard that they're remaking it, and I'm real excited to play it again because it's been a long time since I touched that game. But anyways, this upcoming video is called How the Republic Defeated the All-Powerful Darth, and I'm sorry, I don't know how to say that correctly. Vitiate, Vitiate. I mean, like, hopefully they'll mention it in the video, but that's as close as I'm gonna pronounce it. But anyways, we're getting closer and closer to the end because after this video, we only have 2 videos left, and then the Republic History video set is pretty much over, and then I'll move on to like something else. So without anything else, let's jump into it.
In our last entry in the Republic History series, we spoke of the chaotic old Sith Wars and how they nearly destroyed the Republic. The Republic ultimately survived Exar Kun, the Mandalorians and Revan's Sith, but the whole time there had been another threat lurking out in the unknown, one the Republic knew nothing about. As the old Sith
this was
Wars
a
came
stealth
to an
attack,
end,
sneak
only
attack.
a select few knew that the Republic was still
Oh, that's a
in
cool image right
serious
there. I
danger.
want that.
Revan had gone to fight it in his own way after the Jedi Civil War, and Demetrius Surik had followed him. But most of the galaxy knew nothing about this threat until it was much too late. In this video, we're going to be talking about the return of the true Sith and some of the most destructive wars the Republic ever faced.
Alright. I remember in the Sith history video, they were talking about a Sith Brotherhood. I wonder if it's the same thing.
3,950 years before the Battle of Yavin, the Republic was still reeling from the aftermath of the old Sith Wars, but it was finally beginning to recover. It still had many challenges to face, with the ongoing Can's disorders and rogue infrastructure droids being the biggest problems of the day. However, it seemed like the Sith were gone and the galaxy seemed to be piecing itself back together in their absence. It took a century or two for the Republic to recover fully. Before long, however, it was back on its feet, ready to get back to expansion. Between 3,705 BBY and 3,693 BBY, one of the most important astrographical developments in galactic history occurred. By the time of the old Sith Wars, the galaxy had long been dominated by 4 major hyperspace routes: the Polemian route, the Corellian Run, the Corellian Trade Spine, and the Rimmer Trade route. Now, a 5th mega route joined the list, the Hydian Way, the first and only hyperspace route to stretch all the way across the galaxy. Brental-born hyperspace scout Freya Kalia, together with Duros Banu Hydian, had knit together a hyperspace route from Farana on the galaxy's northeastern fringe to Lamina Soph on the southeastern fringe. This massive route quickly became one of the most important in the Republic.
I bet.
Shortly
if it
after
can
the
go
blazing
from one
of
side to the
Hydian,
other.
the Can's disorders finally came to an end. By that point, the despots of the Agazdan Redoubt, a separatist state on the Republic's northern fringe, had terrorized their neighbors for nearly 300 years, murdering almost 5 billion innocents overall. Previously, the Republic had been too weak and too busy with the Sith to do anything about it, but by 3,700 BBY, the Senate was finally ready to act. A Jedi-led Republic military task force invaded and completely dismantled the Agazdan Redoubt, liberating Lord and the other planets the Agazdans had oppressed. To the optimists in the galaxy, it seemed that the Republic would have peace once more. Of course, the optimists couldn't have been more wrong. For over 1,000 years, a dark secret had been lurking beyond the borders of the Republic, the Empire of the True Sith. After the fall of the original Sith Empire, refugees from Sith space banded together under Darth Vitiate and the True Sith cult and fled the Republic's genocidal assault on their homeworlds. They wandered wild space for 20 years before Vitiate led them to a new homeworld, Dramund Kars, a planet that, as it turned out, was actually part of the original Sith Empire. Nonetheless, it was a world that neither the Jedi nor the Republic knew about, and there, Vitiate and his followers would remain hidden for a millennium. The true Sith stayed in the shadows during the post-Mandarin period, quietly conquering worlds that the Republic didn't even know about, amassing great fleets and biding their time. They built a new Sith Empire with Vitiate as its emperor and waited eagerly for their revenge against the Republic. After the Great Sith War, the Emperor began probing the Republic. He influenced the beginning of the Mandalorian Wars and was also responsible for Revan's fall and the Jedi Civil War that followed.
I can't believe
After
I
the end of the
mispronounced
old Sith
Vitiate's
Wars,
name.
The Sith Empire continued to bide its time for a few more centuries, building up an armada and inserting agents into the governments of Republic worlds. Then, without warning, they struck. In 3681 BBY, Sith warships dropped out of hyperspace above Korriban, capturing the planet from a small Republic military convoy.
Yeah, now we're back to
kickstarting
the
Great
cinematics.
Galactic War. From there, Sith fleets began launching attacks all over the Republic's holdings along the Hydian Way, capturing planet after planet in their ferocious campaign. The Republic military, led once more by Jedi generals, fought back, but the Sith had a stronger fleet and more momentum. They won battle after battle, with the most notable Sith victories being at Sluis Van, Balmorra, Manaan, Hoth, and Ord Radamar. The Republic fought well, earning its own victories at Bothawi and Alderaan, but it was simply unprepared for the Sith onslaught. The Great Galactic War lasted for 28 years, all told, and the Republic military just wasn't able to last for that long against the endless forces the Empire seemingly had to throw at it. Slowly, the Sith began to claim more and more territory, and the Republic's victories became rarer. Things got worse when the Mandalorians allied with the Sith and blockaded the Hydian Way, causing mass goods shortages in the Republic.
Now we're going into
Finally,
the Galactic Timelines
in
records.
3653 BBY, the Sith concluded the war with the sacking of Coruscant. In that climatic battle, a Sith force under Darth Malgus stormed and destroyed the Jedi Temple, while the Sith Armada scattered Coruscant's defenders and ransacked the planet. Following this decisive Sith victory, the Republic surrendered. The Senate ratified the Treaty of Coruscant, which yielded half of the known galaxy to the Sith Empire, bringing an end to the Great Galactic War. The Great Galactic War was followed by an uneasy, decade-long Cold War. Under the Treaty of Coruscant, the galaxy was divided almost evenly between the Republic and the Sith, an entirely unprecedented occurrence. Republic loyalists and Imperials alike were confused by the sudden peace. It seemed totally against the nature of the Sith to agree to an armistice. This was something that bothered many Siths as well, but it was a development indicative of the direction in which the Sith Empire was heading, away from the legacy of the original Sith. We'll get to that later. The Cold War involved a number of proxy wars and minor skirmishes, and though diplomats tried to keep the peace between the Republic and the Empire during this time, it was only a matter of time before war started up again. In
that peace is not going to last.
BBY, 9 years after the Treaty of Coruscant, a new galactic war began as the Republic attempted to reclaim lost territory and the Sith tried to resume their offensive. Early in the war, the Republic successfully liberated Balmorra while the Sith successfully captured Taris, but for the first 3 years of the conflict, the war was mostly a stalemate.
Yeah, you gain one and you lose one.
The tides began to turn in 3640 BBY, however. Around that time, Darth Vitiate had begun to prepare a great ritual, one he believed would turn him into a god. As this ritual threatened to cleanse the entire galaxy of life, the Jedi hastily assembled a strike team to stop him. Led by the hero of Tython, these Jedi confronted the Emperor on Dromund Kaas and destroyed him, or so it was believed. This was a massive blow to the Sith and resulted in the Empire fracturing into various factions, which battled each other as well as the Republic. Even the Hutts
because they're
briefly
no longer
remilitarized
unified.
and got involved at one point, though they were quickly beaten back into Hutt space. However, in 3636 BBY, the Second Galactic War came to an abrupt end when a third major power suddenly entered the war, the Eternal Empire. As it turned out, Darth Vitiate had another avatar hiding out on Zakul in the Unknown Regions, Valkorion, the ruler of the Eternal Empire. With a gargantuan automated armada and legions of Force sensitives, the Eternal Empire surpassed the strength of both the Sith Empire and the Republic. When it entered the Galactic War, it quickly overcame both powers and became the victor of the conflict. Both the Republic and the Sith became Valkorian's vassals, and for a short while, the Eternal Empire effectively ruled the galaxy. Valkorian's victory didn't last, however. With the help of the Outlander, his son Arkan overthrew him and took over the Eternal Empire. 6 years later, the Outlander led a joint alliance of Republic and Sith forces, called the Eternal Alliance, in a revolt against the Empire, killing Arkan and seizing control of Zakuul's fleet. For a brief time, there was peace in the galaxy once again, but it ultimately only took a few years for the Eternal Alliance to fall apart.
By the way, I know he's talking about the game.
And for the Republic and Sith to get back to fighting each other. All that remained of the Eternal Empire, though, rapidly faded into memory. By 3628 BBY, the Third Galactic War was on, and this time, the Republic and the Sith were much more evenly matched. The spirit of Darth Vitiate was finally destroyed during this period, and the Sith came under a succession of emperors and warlords. As fighting dragged on, however, the Sith Empire began to noticeably change. It had been moving away from Sith traditions for centuries, as Darth Vitiate began to care about himself and only himself. Sith ideology be damned. Even before the Great Galactic War, the Empire had started to bureaucratize. By the time of the Third Galactic War, the Sith Empire was really just a dark mirror of the Republic, with even the Sith themselves becoming more like an evil Jedi Order than true Sith. There were even light-sided and respectable Sith during this period who fought for the Empire not out of support of the dark side, but a sense of patriotism. The Empire was slowly ceasing to be truly Sith. Perhaps because of this change, the Sith Empire slowly fizzled out. We don't quite know when it finally collapsed, though we do know that the Galactic Wars ultimately ended with another total Republic victory. There were a few more minor Sith wars after the Third Galactic War, most notably the Darth Decius conflict, but they became increasingly smaller in scale.
I fought him in Force Unleashed.
Entirely. By 3000 BBY, the Sith were, for all intents and purposes, extinct. They survived only in small cults scattered across the Outer Rim, impotent and hiding from the Jedi. The Galactic Wars included some of the greatest victories of the Sith, and for millennia, the true Sith came closer than any other Sith faction to ruling the galaxy. They were the last major wars the old Sith would ever fight, however. Under Darth Vitiate, the Sith came closer to victory than ever before, but because of Vitiate's mad quest for godhood, they never attained that victory. Once again, the Sith were their own worst enemies here. As a final note, we just wanted to remind you all that since Star Wars The Old Republic is still releasing story content, this video might end up being out of date sometime in the near future. We don't know how the Third Galactic War ended because the game's writers simply haven't gotten that far, and we don't really know how the story will develop in the future. We've told you the important parts of the story thus far though, so that should cut it for now. But that's the story of the last set of wars with the old Sith. Following the fall of the Empire, the Sith were largely believed to be extinct, but as we all know, they wouldn't stay that way. The next set of Sith wars were only a millennium and a half away, and they would be the most devastating yet. But that's a story for next week.
Alright, so that was another video, Republic History video, how the old Republic defeated the powerful Darth Vitiate. So basically, he went over what happened in the cinematics and also pretty much what happened in the game, because most of it was game graphics, and also I know for a fact it's the storyline for if you played as the Jedi Knight. So I guess the Jedi Knight path is more canon, or is canon, should I say. But either way, now we're getting closer and closer to the present day. So we have one more video left that pretty much talks about that. And judging by the thumbnail on the very last video, it looks like we're going to be talking about like during the prequel movie eras. But either way, this video was great as always, and I'm looking forward to the next one. So anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode, or reaction video, so to speak. I keep on saying episode because of gameplay videos. But anyways, thank you for watching, and hit that notification bell so you know when I drop another video. Thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate it. Hope you guys are having an amazing day or night wherever you guys are, and I'll see you guys next time.